You're watching the International Slam Series. Now, back to the show.
And this is one of our newer pieces. We say nothing.
Yeah. You got yours?
Just look back. And they say say their names.
Say their names.
Say their names. Yeah, I'm gonna say the names, but it's not the ones you thinking. I'm talking about 14-year-old Bakeem Mitchell, 13-year-old Jeremiah Redding, and my neighbor, Razion Dinkins. Yeah, I'm gonna say the names, but they're not the ones you think. I'm talking about Ronald Kelson and Kevin Washington shot in McDonald's parking lot. I'm talking about the ones that so easily forgot. Yeah, I'm gonna say their names, but it's not the ones you think.
See, when it comes to community violence, we silent. We say nothing. Can you tell me why do we say nothing? We say nothing. We say nothing. We never tell them that their opportunities are limitless as racing starts. We sit silently as their hope diminishes until the devil finishes. Our children stripped of their hope. And some folk just take it as the devil gonna always do his work. And we sit silent as our children become victims to this crude, archaic systems of graveyard and prisons. And our silence doesn't acknowledge their cries, nor the defeat in their eyes, or the permanent greatness of their skies. There seems to be things that we want to say, that we need to say, but we don't. For whatever reason, we won't. We refuse to even question ourselves about why we say nothing. We sit silently, bereft, bereaved in our own words, our own loss of words, our loss of ourselves, our silence, a mixture of sadness and regret. We sleep with silence wrapped around our necks. We are a dying nation, making our children's failure our reparations. In the face of our children dying from violence, we stay silent, as if holding our breath. I guess the words rest too deep in the depths of our chest because we say nothing. In the silence dilutes our tears as we have nothing to say, as if our children do not deserve our words. Someone said the raising children was harder than raising the dead, and we say nothing. Suppressing our screams as our children play with death. We have nothing to say as if there are no words left. We should tell them that life itself is a struggle amongst ourselves more than with anyone else, but we blame them for their hearts of stone. When we have left them on their own, we failed to give our children, our youth, that matter of fact truth. We say nothing. As much as we have become, our children have become heartless agents of darkness. We smell our children's blood and we say nothing. And when we do speak to them, we say nothing. No words of substance. We activist words to expire do not exist. We blame them from our shame. We bury our babies with empty obituaries and words missing because we say nothing.
Explosives.
Thank you. All right. And last piece you wanted to share about our favorite uncle, you know, who got us into writing poetry and became an addict. You know, he was hooked on drugs and, you know, in and out of prison our whole life, and, you know, but really was the one who got us into writing words and really showed us what these words can do. And we started writing poetry for him, about him, before he passed away, to be able to show it, because his children, even to this day, never understood why we looked at Uncle Ant, held Uncle Ant in such high regard. You know, he was amazing to us. He could act and wait to answer to every question. He knew every poem. He can tell you who the artist was. He was just an amazing person. But once he got on those drugs, it was a different person. And his children never got to know that genius. All they knew was the uncle who would, you know, take the money out of their birthday cards, who would empty the refrigerator, who would sell their winter coats and take the video systems. And, you know, that's the father they knew. So they never got to know this genius that we knew as Uncle Anthony. And we started writing these poetry. And this one right here was entitled I Want to Go Back. And it was around this time a year, just talk about the family and, you know, some of the things that would happen with Uncle Ant and his addiction.
I wish I could go back. Flipping through the pages of a photo album, I'm reminded what life is about. And sometimes I just wish I can go back. Sometimes I just wish I can go back. I wish I can go back to this picture of my favorite Christmas. I remember I was on honor rolls. Mom got everything on my wish list. A couple of Kangaroos, green suede Pumas, a rope chain with a medallion said my name, a swatch, a boombox, and 2 tapes. Tila Rock and W Fresh instrumental beatbox. Man, I was in deep heaven. I thought I was dreaming as I spun on my back. Man, sometimes I just wish I can go back. Sometimes I just wish I can go back. I remember waking up just 2 days after Christmas to find all my new stuff missing. I'm thinking maybe my mom put it somewhere. I'm looking all around the house, even down in the kitchen. I checked every room, every closet, but it's still missing. It's still missing. And in the basement, I find my uncle sitting with his eyes listening. I'm asking him, has he seen my new stuff?
Uncle, you seen my stuff?
He just nodded. He just nodded. He not even listening. And when I looked in his eyes, it hurt because I realized I'd become the latest victim to my uncle's addiction. Now my mom can replace all the stuff that's missing, but it's something missing in me. She can never get it back. See, sometimes I just wish I can go back. Sometimes I just wish I can go back. I wish I can go back to when the pain is gone. As I look at this picture of my uncle in his high school football uniform, I remember telling everybody I want to be just like you. When all the other kids wanted to be like Dr. J or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, when O.J. Simpson was running through airports and Reggie Jackson had his own candy bar. You was my uncle and you was my hero. You was the all-state college-bound running back. I remember my brother and I would stay up late to hear your often over-exaggerated after-game recaps. You tell us how the other team had an illegal defense with 12 men on the field and they still couldn't stop because you was just man. How you scored 3 touchdowns with 3 men on your back. Man, sometimes I just wish I can go back. Sometimes I just wish I can go back. I wish I can go back to this picture where you all dressed up in his tux or your high school proms. I wish there was something, anything I could do from preventing that girl that's with you from becoming your child's mom. Because although I love my little cousin, I just really wish she came at a later time. Then maybe you really would have an opportunity to go to Michigan State instead of graduating to the University of Vietnam. You said you had to take care of your son. So instead of running the ball, you was now running with the gun. See, if you never went to Vietnam, you probably never been introduced to drugs, and you would have been a junkie when you came back. So honestly, I just want my Uncle Anthony back. Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Phenomenal.
Yes.
Wow.
Legends.
Thank you, Twin Poets. Is there anything else you want to say before we end off the show, before we kick it off?
Nah, just thank you, man. Thank you for hosting the venue. Thank you for all the artists who shared, and let's continue to create. You know, the world needs us now. They really do. We need to create this heavy heart that's on the weight of the world. It's up to us as artists to share our love, to share our gift, to help lift this spirit. And we're so needed now. And I just encourage everyone to write, to utilize this time to write for yourself, write for your family, write for your next door neighbor, write for that person who right now is struggling in ICU dealing with COVID. Let's write. Let's share this pain right now, because the only way we get through it is by sharing it. So thank you all. Thank you all for your talents. Thank you for just staying together and sharing your voices and being a part of this platform tonight.
I appreciate it very much. As we head into this new year, everybody stay safe, man. Please do what you got to do. But remember, I mean, this is a blessing. Everybody can't do what we do, man. So appreciate this gift that we're all been blessed with. And, let's continue to do God's work and share. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Al. Thank you, Nami. Another round of applause for our guests. It's an absolutely phenomenal job. Your message in every poem, I feel like, rings true to everybody. It's so personal, but it's also so relatable. And I think that's what's powerful about your writing, is that anybody can connect to it, anybody can feel it. And like you said, your message of writing, I think, is really important too. Writing, just whatever's on your mind, whatever you're feeling, going through, I think that is special. I think that's something that everybody should at least practice and focus on. Whether you're an artist, a writer, poet or not, I think it's really a magical thing. So thank you again for sharing your gift. Thank you for sharing your truth with all of us here today on Zoom and on YouTube as well. Thank you both. Really appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys can come back to the next show.